Good evening, folks. On Sunday, October 18th, welcome to the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. This is Short Shift Broadcasting. My name is Mark. Welcome to the Kickin' Asphalt 195, the second round in the Clash Series for the Blown Piston Racing League on Sunday nights with the xFinity B cars. This is the second race in the season. Last week we had the season kickoff at Talladega, the Super Speedway, and let's go and quickly take a look at what the results of that was for the championship. Now, on the top left of your screen, you see the top the top 16 finishers of that race. The point scorers, I would have to say. The winner of the race was Tommy Ryan, and due to the point system, he is actually fourth in the points. But you can see his win there in the columns of wins, top fives and top tens, obviously, and you can see some stage wins there in the third from the right column. Tom Queering is actually your points leader currently, with Anthony Handley in the second spot. Eric Kempf is in third. Then it's Tommy Ryan. Then it's Jason Branch, who actually scored pretty good in Talladega last week. Jeff Figlion, Jason Kinzer, Roger Matthias, David Evans, Ryan Nicoletta, Andrew Mraz, and Andrew Mraz is worth mentioning even further because if you look at the second column from the right, you will see that he has led 33 laps in that race, and that means he is currently the season leader for the DXP Frontman Award. And then also, let's see, who else we've got there. The 12th position is for Andrew Moore Jr., Max Williams, then Jacob Williams, Guy Schneider, Scott Wise, and Avery Wilson. That is your top 16, and we're going to keep an eye on those top 16 guys throughout the season, folks, because those are the guys that are going to be qualifying for the Sweet 16 when we kick off our final stage of the season. So as a winner last week, Tommy Ryan is already locked into that Sweet 16, and I apologize for the typing errors in this graphic. On the top right of your screen, you see the points as they were awarded to the teams as they run. R&R Motorsports 37 points, Piedite Racing 36, Torque Wrench Motorsports 35, YJ Motorsports 31, alongside with 4X Racing. Then it's Unacceptable Motorsports with 30, Kickin' Asphalt, the sponsor of today's race, 27 points, and Top Groove and Momentum have not yet scored any points. We acknowledge our season sponsor, our series sponsor, I should say, JM Transport for the Blown Piston Racing League Clash Series on Sunday night, and co-sponsor for the series and for the races is Wise Choice Contracting, your window and door replacement services. All right, folks, that'll bring us into the qualifying as we currently are running in the final minute of qualifying. I will show you the standings. It is currently Jacob Manning that is the quickest in practice here. We're going to do qualifying for 2 laps, and the first 35 drivers in qualifying lock themselves into the feature race. The final 8 spots will be contested in a heat race. So we're going to be doing a short heat race. That is a short race with, I believe it's only 10 laps today, and no yellow flags during a race, heat races like that, to keep it kind of short, but that gives the lowest qualifying drivers an opportunity to fight for the final 8 positions. We currently have 44 drivers actually entering this race, which means that we do need that heat race to unfortunately send one person home. All right, so there you have it, folks. We're going to go into qualifying, and before cars are getting on track, there's Jacob Manning, their fastest practicing driver. Before we get the cars to see their lap times, this is your race information, sponsored by Wise Choice Contracting. It is round number 2 of the Blown Piston Racing League Clash Series on Sunday nights. Charlotte Motor Speedway, a D-shaped oval with the length of 1.5 miles. And we have a current ambient temperature of 80 degrees, relative humidity is 34%, 6-mile-an-hour winds, and a partly cloudy sky. We have a track temperature of 98 degrees. It was actually a little bit warmer during practice, and it looks like it's already cooling down a little bit. 98 degrees Fahrenheit it's not extremely hot for the racetrack, but it's not cool either. And we've seen some drivers get into trouble coming out of turn 2, washing up against the wall. So hopefully that temperature will cool off a little bit, and that should help those drivers during the race. All right, let's see if we can get some lap times on the clock here. Manning running a 30.274, and that currently puts Jacob Manning on the top of the board there. As you can see, times are coming in. It is also worth telling you that this is a fixed setup race, meaning that everybody is running the exact same setup on these cars. That they can mess about a little bit with the steering ratio and the brake bias, and that is pretty much it, if I am correct. So we have a lot of drivers coming in here already. Was qualifying. Scott Wise way up there today in the 3rd position. That is a good effort for him. Jordan Berry, we saw how unlucky he was in the truck race last night, or a Friday night I should say. Jordan Berry there in 2nd position. Very good effort for him. There in the number 800 car, we see a new driver, I believe, new to this series anyway. That is Barrett Flo. As far as I remember, I have not seen him before. And the same thing is true here for the number 12 car. He's being scored as number 73. He's got number 12 on the car, and that's okay. We'll figure that out. That is Dan McLaren, and I don't believe I've seen Dan in this series before. So welcome to those guys. We hope you have a lot of fun. And we hope that you can, join us for the rest of the season and enjoy the series as much as we do. There we have Casey Duncan in the Dunkin' Donuts car. Tom Queering is out there already, and it looks like we have 39 drivers that have put down times. And as said, we have 44 contestants here, so we're going to be doing that heat race, and so one of them will be eliminated. And that means go home. It's not that dramatic. I'm sorry about that. Let's see if we can find Randy Purdue here. Randy running the 29 car, and he posted a time. He's 39th. That means he is not quite 100% sure yet that he's going to be in the race. The final qualifier currently is Don Dolson, and he is the one in 35th position, so all the way up to 35th they are locked in, folks, and everybody that is slower than that, they will have to run the heat race. Unfortunately, we see Mike Perry there as well, and he might, I'm not sure if Mike is going to be running the race, to be honest with you. I do believe I heard something about him and maybe only running a temporary schedule in these cars. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to wait and see as Randy Purdue comes to a halt. And let's see who else we have on track still. There is Louis Berkowitz, Tommy Ryan, our winners of last week's season opener. He's still out there running a few laps. Tommy Ryan in the number 6 car. So for the feature race, the drivers will have one fast repair at their disposal. I'm sure you're familiar with the concept right now already. Fast repair means they get an instant repair, and there we go, folks. We're going to go into the heat race right now, and I believe we have 10 drivers for the heat race. And let's bring the grid up there for you. There you see them getting ready. The pole sitter for the heat race, folks, is Don Bellerby from Pennsylvania in the 880 car. He's not there yet. Gary Wright is the second driver in the heat race. Then we have Tom Queering, Randy Purdue, Jonathan Munda, Donald Stewart, Guy Schneider, and Mike Perry, Frederick Hofstadter, Chris White. I'm glad to see Mike. Well, I haven't seen Mike yet. Mike Perry, Frederick Hofstadter, and Chris White. We are waiting on those guys to put their cars on the grid here. There you have the 880 of Don Bellerby. And as said, folks, 8 of these drivers will go through to the main race, and we might see 3 drivers here that will not take the start, and that basically means that everybody will be going through, but it doesn't matter. Well, we like race cars on track, so we'll just have a little fun here before we get to the feature race. All right, in this series, folks, the fuel capacity for the cars has been dropped to 60%, and that gives those guys a fuel window of about 33 to 36 laps. Now, in the feature race, as you know, in this series, we have stages. We are going to be running a total of 130 laps during the feature race, and stage 1 ends at lap 35. Stage number 2 ends at lap number 70. There's some extra points to pick up there for the drivers, so there's always a little bit of an extra fight there right before those stages end because of the extra points. There we have Frederick Hofstadter is trying to grid up here. Actually, it does look like he's got a little bit of an issue with the connection because he's not here right now. Hopefully he'll get that in there. Yeah, he's trying to get along, and you can see that car blinking in and out, folks. That's not a good sign for him. I hope he gets it figured out. He is the 8th starter, so if he can get at least 1 lap in, he has the spot in the feature race. Mike Perry and Chris White are not on the track, and I haven't seen them on the pit road either. So we'll have to wait and see if they're coming out, yes or no. Looks like Frederick Hofstadter is rolling in that number 99 car. and he's catching up. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, it's not perfect, but hopefully he can make it work. All he has to do is run the laps. And I apologize, we're not doing 10 laps, we're doing 15 laps here at Charlotte for the heat race. And it looks right now that we have 8 starters, and that basically means that they're all going through. And what they're going to do now basically is just decide who starts where on those final 8 spots. Qualifying times are kind of irrelevant for these guys right now. And we're coming down towards the main side. There we have it, folks. The green flag is out. We are racing here in the first heat race at Charlotte Motor Speedway, North Carolina, in the JM Transport Blown Piston Racing League, the Clash Series on Sunday night. It is Don Bellerby that is taking the lead in front of Tom Queering in the 46 car. And then we have Randy Perdue in the 29, and we have Gary Wright. Donald Stewart is being challenged here by Jonathan Munda in the number 55 car, and he's actually getting underneath there. And it looks like there's more guys that have a few issues with the connection. We hope that it's not going to play too big of a part here. Donald Stewart in the number 10 car, he is currently in 7th, and Frederick Hofstadter is there in the 8th position. So let's bring you back up front here. Don Bellerby is actually pulling away a little bit from Randy Perdue. Randy Perdue and Tom Queering follow. It looks like Perdue is catching back up. He's actually running the quickest of all these 8 drivers right now with a 30.56. That's actually pretty good. It's 0.2 of a second. And I'm sure the draft is helping him a little bit. He's coming to the inside there, folks. Sticking that nose underneath the 880 car. And Randy Perdue is picking up the lead, and it looks like Tom Queering is coming right along with him there, with Bellerby being locked out on the outside there a little bit on his own, and those other 2 guys have the draft to help each other. And Bellerby is kind of stuck out there by himself right now. It's not a super speedway. Obviously, it's not as important as pack racing we saw last week, but it's still a fast enough track where the draft and the working together can definitely be of influence and of help to the drivers. We see Queering and Bellerby now side by side challenging each other for that 2nd place. And I'm sure they're being a little bit careful here because there really isn't that much at stake at this point. It doesn't really matter, just having fun. Gary Wright is in that green number 19 here, the green and the red sides, and then we have Guy Schneider in that Gulf Lubricants car, the number 27. Jonathan Munda in the 55. Donald Stewart in the Busch car there, the number 10. Frederick Hofstadter is following in the 99. And it looks like these last 3 guys are a little bit slower than when you look at the lap times compared to Randy Perdue. It's about a 2-3 of a second. Perdue is now pulling away by 0.6 of a second. Lap number 6 already. Tom Queering is in 2nd position, and Don Bellerby seems to be settling for 3rd here at the moment. Let's ride along with Don Bellerby in that 880 car there. Beautiful view of the track. It's a great facility here in Charlotte, North Carolina. You see the blue line there is where the apron and the banking separate. And that's something that the drivers really want to be a little bit careful with. You don't want to get over that line. You don't want to upset the back end of the car and lose it. We're running right around, top speeds are right around 180 miles an hour here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So it's not as fast as what we did on Talladega, but it's not really all that much slower. It is still a pretty fast racetrack. And when we get started with the feature and we have 43 cars on the track, you will see that this 1.5 mile track is going to get pretty busy. Let's go take a look at Guy Schneider here in the number 27 car. He is still following Gary Wright fairly closely. Donald Stewart then in the number 10 car. Oh, and it looks like Hofstadter is actually past Jonathan Munda. Jonathan Munda must have had a little bit of an issue, as he's dropped back to the end there, to the end of the line. I don't see any damage on this side of the car, but he may have just scuffed the wall there a little bit. No, I don't really see anything. Doesn't look like he's we can try to see if we can get that back. I don't believe there was any major. Ooh, the 880 did scuff the wall there as we go back live. He's definitely getting in trouble at the exit of turn 2 there. Let's bring that back for you. There you can see it. He scuffs the wall exiting turn 2, and then he has trouble keeping it away from the wall there. So Don Bellerby is already finding out that this track is not always exactly that easy. And it looks like Gary Wright and Guy Schneider have caught up with him. And even Donald Stewart is getting right up there. And I believe Guy Schneider's getting a little bit more ambitious right here. He's coming to the inside of the number 19. And the number 10 is making it 3 wide there in this heat race and passes the both of them. Coming out of turn 4. He picks up 4th position. That is a pretty cool and a pretty ballsy move, if I dare say so. Although Donald does have a little bit of a connection issue as well. I hope he can get it sorted out. But he is running in 4th position if he's there. Gary Wright is in 6th position, and he probably kind of looked to me like he's thinking, okay, guys, you can do this. I just want to bring it home here. Frederick Hofstadter still ahead of Munda. That's pretty good. And I do believe that Stewart is blinking in and out a little bit, but it looks like he's running 3rd. Bellerby is he's been surprised there a little bit after he scuffed the wall, and there you see him trying to come back. Apologize for the flickering of the scoring tower. I had a little issue here. Ooh, Don Bellerby and Gary Wright got together there, and Munda is catching up with Wright now. Hofstadter trying to take advantage of that. Let's see if we can bring that back here from a little bit wider angle. What happened? There you have them coming together. Ooh, it is the 19 that actually taps the back end of the 80, and there you have it, folks. We are, I apologize for the mix-up here, but I had a little issue with scoring. That's why I didn't pay attention to the finish there, but it looks like we've got that heat race finished up here. Let's show you the results here real quick. And currently you see the drivers going out for a short warm-up. The guys that have been sitting idle here for the last few minutes, they can use this warm-up to get going. It's just a few minutes to get them back pumped up for the feature race here. Randy Perdue takes the win in the heat race. Tom Quiring brings it home in 2nd. Donald Stewart in 3rd. Guy Snyder is in 4th, and Bellerby is in 5th. Frederick Hofstadter in 6th. Gary Wright in 7th. Jonathan Munda takes away that 8th spot. Perry and White did not take to the start. So we have 43 qualifiers for our main event. And Perry and White are not going to be a part of that main event. Alright, just looking around through the field here during the warm-up here a little bit. That is Avery Wilson in the number 18 car. We have Jeremy Brooks, also a fairly familiar face. Ron Schutte in the 28. Jeff Figlin there in the 98 car. Pretty catchy paint job he's got on that machine. And going by him there is the 22, and the 22, that is, oops, why am I seeing this car? The 22 is Jason Branch. Dan McLaren here out on the track in the warm-up is actually running very nice laps, 30.32. He's currently the quickest driver on the track, as you can see. And that might, you know, I'm not saying it means anything right now, but it could be an indication of what these guys are capable of. Obviously, the tires are going to be an issue for these guys as well. All right, we're getting ready to grid up for the main event here, round number 2 of the JM Blown Piston Racing League for the Sunday nights, the B-class cars. Let's take a look at your grid. On the pole position, we have Jacob Manning. Alongside him is Randy Yoakum. Then we have Anthony Keys and Scott Wise. Good effort for Scott Wise, right up there in 4th position in the 31 car. Then we have Jordan Berry and Avery Wilson. Good effort for our Canadian friend Jordan as well. The 4th row is for Barrett Flo and Dave Houghton. I believe Barrett is new to the series in that 800 car. The 5th row is for Justin Gahn and Roger Matthias. 6th row for newcomer Dan McLaren and Ron Schutte. Then we have the 7th rows, Jeff Figlin and Jeremy Brooks. We have the 8th row with Ty Aiken and Eric Kempf. Then we have Pondo Ko and David Evans on the 9th row. Corbin Simmons and Tommy Ryan, last week's winner of the opening round, on the 10th row there. Then the 11th row with Jason Branch. We've heard Jason Branch tell us before that qualifying is not his strong suit. He's alongside Andrew Moore there on the 11th row. And it looks like the 51's having some trouble getting going there. Let's see, we have Max Williams and Brian Fallon on the 12th row. On the 13th row, we have Jacob Williams and Brian Rainville. Then we have Kevin Nicoletta and John Findlay on the 14th row. The 15th row is for Casey Duncan and Louis Berkowitz. Ryan Nicoletta and Jeff Ryan are together there on the 16th row. The 17th row is for Jason Kratke and Anthony Handley. Then we have Don Olson and Randy Perdue on the 18th row. Then we have Tom Quiring and Donald Stewart there on the 19th row. The 20th row is for Guy Snyder and Don Bellerby. Frederick Hofstadter and Gary Wright are on the final row, and Jonathan Munda is out there on the 43rd spot on his own. There you have it, folks. That is your race grid for the second round of the season here on Sunday nights. It looks like we're getting ready to get going already. The pace car is in. They have to wait on the radio call here, and it looks like Jacob Manning, who chose to start on the outside, he's got a good jump on the field there. In that number 62 car, running away by a half a second right there on the start. Randy Yoakum in the number 8, Scott Wise there in the 3rd position, and then it's Anthony Keys in the number 14 car to Scott Wise's inside. It looks like he's gonna get that. Yep, 3rd spot is for Anthony Wise and Scott. I'm sorry, Anthony Keys, and Scott Wise is dropping to 4th position there. Avery Wilson in 5th is also coming along underneath him. At least he's trying real hard, and it looks like they're side by side on the backstretch. Scott still has it there on the higher side. And they're still side by side fighting for that position. Oh, and the Napa car there, that is Barrett Flo in the 800 car is also coming underneath Scott Wise. Looks like Scott is a little bit caught out on that high side there. The 72 of David Houghton is also trying to get underneath him there. And it looks like that lower side seems to be pretty quick at this point, and the higher side is not yet working for Scott Wise there. And they probably will have to wait till that rubbers in a little bit. With this many cars on the track, hopefully it will do that fairly quickly. All right, so let's take a look at the leader here, Jacob Manning. He was running away a little bit, it looked like, but Anthony Keys has worked his way to second position, and he is right on the tail of Jacob Manning there in second position. Randy Yoakum has about 5 to 6/10 of a second deficit on Keys, and he is dealing with Avery Wilson and Barrett Flo. Jacob Manning is now being challenged by Keys. Anthony Keys picks up the lead here. Lap number 5 of 130. And they're still side by side going for that inside. It is Keys that picks up the lead, and Manning slots in behind him trying to catch that draft. And then we'll see what happens after that. Randy Yoakum has worked his way back up to the front pretty quickly there. That's pretty impressive. He's already back up to third position. Avery Wilson is battling him there side by side. The 800 of Barrett Flo is right behind him. Scott Wise currently in the 7th position. Newcomer Dan McLaren is right behind him there in the in the number 12 car. And let's find quickly one of our last season's finalists in the Truck Series, Jason Branch in 20th position there. Jeremy Brooks in the 53, currently in 16th position. And at the tail end of the field, we have Ty Aiken in the 71 car, losing ground fairly quickly, not sure what happened to him. And in front of him, it is Jason Kratke, and he's got 11 seconds on Aiken. Keys still in front here. Lap number 8, and Jacob Manning dropping back a little bit now. About 6/10 of a second deficit, and then it's 3/10 of a second to Avery Wilson in the number 18 car. Then it's Barrett Flo in the 800 car. David Houghton in the 72. Randy Yoakum back to 6th position. He's been up and down that top 10 already a couple times. Dan McLaren to the inside of Scott Wise. Scott Wise now in 8th position. Justin Gann in 9th, and Roger Matthias rounds out your top 10 right now in that gray and red number 5 car. And let's go back and check on Anthony there. He is looking, he's got a camera looking out the back there, looking at Jacob Manning and Avery Wilson. Avery Wilson, as you can see, going in and out a little bit with a connection issue. And looks like more drivers have a little bit of an issue like that, and I hope everything's going to be okay for the entire race. It's always a little bit tricky when stuff like that happens, folks. There's nothing they can do about it, at least not during the race. And even ourselves, our short shift channel is not always spared from those kind of troubles. So let's hope for the best. Anthony Keys is now about close to 7/10 of a second clear of Jacob Manning. Manning there in the 62 car, leading Avery Wilson and Barrett Flo. Houghton in the 800. I'm sorry, 8 in the 72 car, behind the 800 car. Then it's Dan McLaren. Randy Yoakum now in 7th position. Oh, we have a yellow, folks. Let's go and find out what was going on. That is the 888 car, I believe, that's getting into the number 10. That was Don Dellerby, and let's go and bring back what happened, if we can find it, a little bit further back so we can see what's going on. It looks like Bellerby is coming up behind the 8. The number 10. I'm sorry, the 10 is blinking, and that is exactly what the biggest problem of that blinking is, folks. We're going to bring that back to you one more time. Here in slow motion, the 10 car will be away and gone, blinking out. The 888 has to kind of guess where to place his car on the track, and he's clearly faster. And well, let's speed it up a little bit here. There, you see it, he's gone, and then the 888 driver really has the 880, I'm sorry, no knowledge of where that number 10 car is. All of a sudden, he's there in front of him, and with the speed difference that they already had, there's nothing he can do to prevent stuff like this from happening. The 10 goes around, the 880 goes into the wall slightly. I believe he's going to be okay. We've seen him do that before. Once he gets into the wall, he's got a little trouble keeping it away from the wall. But it looks like he's still running. Well, we have quite a few drivers on pit road. Not Gary Wright. Guy Schneider, no. Yeah, they're all coming off of pit road there. Let's see, we had Gahn was on pit road, Moore, Ryan Nicoletta, Guy Schneider, Frederick Hofstetter, Brian Rainville, Randy Yoakum has been on pit road, Anthony Handley, and Donald Stewart has been on... Nope, he's not been on pit road. It's Anthony Handley. That's the final pitting car. So we had something like 7 or 8 cars on pit road. The leaders all stayed out, and they're quietly following the pace car. I do believe it's a little bit early for a lucky dog. We don't have a lucky dog, and that gives us a little bit of a breather here with the superior templating yellow flag. All right, folks, and one thing we need to also acknowledge is that Jacob Manning, he already earned himself an award, and that is this one right here. Jacob Manning qualified on pole position, and he therefore receives the Cop Blue Fastest Qualifier Award. Let's see if we can bring up the track map here. As you can see on that map, it is pretty busy on track there. We have 2 drivers leaving the pits at the moment, and that is Brian Rainville and Pondo Co coming out of pit road. All right, something else we're trying to keep an eye on during this...
green flag.
There we go. We're going back to racing, folks. It is Anthony Keys in the number 14 car that is leading the pack, with Avery Wilson in second position there. Jacob Manning in third. Dan McLaren now in fourth. And the 800 of Barrett Flow on that higher side in fifth position. Roger Matthias leading the rest of the pack, with Scott Wise in seventh. Jeff Figlin in 8th, David Houghton and Tommy Ryan round out your top 10. Anthony Keys, your leader. There you have him, folks, being followed by Avery Wilson and the number 12 of Dan McLaren. Nose to tail there. Be careful, guys. You don't want to bump each other out this early in the race. That would be kind of a shame. Let's go and quickly check on Tommy Ryan. He is currently the biggest gainer in the race with 12th position, and that will count for him towards, oops, I'm sorry, wrong graphic. He will be eligible for the R&R Charger Award if he keeps that up to the end of the race. Back up front with Anthony Keys in the leading position, Avery Wilson in second, Dan McLaren now in third, Jacob Manning in fourth. Then it's Barrett Flo in position number 6. Tommy Ryan already up to 7th, so that means he's already gained another position. Good. Ooh, we have another caution, folks. Let's go and find out what was going on. That is in the back of the field, the 99 car. And I believe the 55 car of Munda was involved in that as well. Let's go and figure out what was going on here. The 55 runs a little bit high, it scuffs the wall, comes back down, he's trying to stay in his path and in his lane, but unfortunately the 99 gets the short end of the stick there. Let's bring that back for you one more time. The 55 scuffs the wall up ahead there, comes down, tries to stay in that upper lane, but can't, and takes out the number 99 car. Well, as said, folks, they have that fast repair. I hope they can use it. And let's see if Frederick Hofstadter is headed for pit road. Dolson in the 04 car. He is getting the lucky dog here. He's getting the wave around, so he is our SFI lucky dog. That is Don Olson in the 04. And let's go see if we've got some takers on pit road. I don't believe so. Well, yeah, Kevin Nicoletta is in. Kevin Nicoletta, Findlay, Don Bellerby is in the pits. Ryan Nicoletta is in the pits. Anthony Handley. We have quite a few drivers in the pits here. Guy Snyder, oops, where did you go? There he is. He's coming down pit road. Bellerby is being worked on. Snyder's already on his way out. I apologize. Ryan Nicoletta on his way out. Randy Yoakum, one of the front runners in the number 8 car, he is on pit road. Jason Kratky, I'm sorry, in the 54, he is out there on pit road. And it looks like all the other guys have decided to just stay out there. And once again, folks, we are going to take a slow breather here with the Superior Templating LLC yellow flag. I do believe another driver got the wave around there. No, maybe not. I believe they just came out of the pits. All right, so Anthony Handley, with leading the laps that he has led so far, he is going to be adding up those laps led for the Frontman Award, currently being led by Andrew Mraz. Unfortunately, I don't believe Andrew Mraz is here. Well, we have Avery Wilson there on the 2nd spot, Dan McLaren 3rd, Manning. Let's go find Scott Wise. He's currently running in 9th. Tommy Ryan, our biggest hard charger, is in 7th. And we have another pretty good charger here. That's Casey Duncan. He's gained 10 positions. We actually have a bigger gain and a driver with a bigger gain, and that is actually Randy Perdue. Randy Perdue currently 14 places up from his start, so he is currently your hard charger, sponsored by R&R Enterprises. Well, we don't have a prize for the biggest deficit or the biggest loser, but Randy Yoakum, because of his pit stop, now in 36th position. He's down from the start 34 spots. We have another driver, Brian Rainville, going back to pit road, probably trying to get some damage fixed while he can. Don Dolson, same thing. The 04, he was the lucky dog. And the other drivers are starting to line them up side by side here, folks, because we are getting ready to go, going into lap 23 of 130. And that means we have about 13 laps to finish the first stage, which will be at lap number 35. Now, with a fuel window of anywhere between 33 to 36 laps, the guys that have not pitted obviously are benefiting from these yellows and making sure that they're going to get to the end of the first stage without making a pit stops and picking up some extra points. And that might for some be a reason to actually go into the pits, hoping that they will not make it. But with all the yellows we've had already, I'm fairly sure that they're going to make it. Look at that, a huge field here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Beautiful series. There we go, the green flag is out. The JM Transport Blown Piston Racing League Clash Series race in Charlotte is restarted on lap 23, and it is Anthony Keys that has the lead in front of Avery Wilson, Dan McLaren, Jacob Manning, and Barrett Flo. And it looks like Avery Wilson is already challenging for that lead pretty hard, and the 12 of Dan McLaren coming with him underneath the 14. What happened to the 14? Did he screw up the wall maybe? Miss a gear? I don't know. But he is now side by side trying to fend off Dan McLaren for that second position. Dan is on the inside. Ooh, he's washing up a little bit. They're pretty close together. Anthony Keys is hanging on to that second position, it looks like, but only just. The 12 is coming underneath and now definitely slotting in front of him in that second position. Jacob Manning coming alongside Keys as well, going for that third position now. It looks like Anthony Keys got caught out on that high side a little bit, just like we saw earlier with Scott Wise. Barrett Flo is behind them. Tommy Ryan in 6th position, Roger Matthias in 7th, Figlin in 8th, Scott Wise in 9th, trying to hold off Eric Kempf, and that rounds out your top 10, folks. Avery Wilson in the lead. He is clearing the others by about a half a second already. Jacob Manning has moved past Dan McLaren, and Anthony Keys is right there with him, trying to get underneath the 12, and it looks like Keys is trying to steal that third position. It looks like that higher side's coming on a little bit, because Dan McLaren can hang on to that third spot in the upper line pretty good. Tommy Ryan already up in 5th position, also on the higher side, so it looks like that higher side is rubbering in fairly quickly here with 43 cars on track. That does not surprise me at all. Corbin Simmons, we see him fairly closely behind Ron Schutte, and he's got David Evans behind him there. Jason Branch in the 22 car trying to come underneath the number 1 of Evans and stealing that position away from him. Jason Branch, always one to be known for working his way forward. Not the best qualifier in his own words, but he's always a good fighter to get his car to the front. We're on lap 28, so it is time to keep an eye on those leaders for that first stage, because that's coming up on lap 35. Avery Wilson is pulling away there by about a half a second from Dan McLaren. Dan McLaren in the 2nd position. and he's pulling away a little bit from Jacob Manning. Let's ride along with Manning here. That's Dan McLaren's car you're looking at. And it looks like they get off the gas quite significantly there for turns number 1 and 2. Down to about 160 miles an hour, and then back up the speed. And there where you can see that coming off turn number 4, that main straightaway, the banking unloads fairly quickly, and that is a point where you have to be a little bit careful, because that's where you can lose the car. Let's go see what happened. We have a major wreck here. That is the number 30 involved. Let's go and find out who they are. The number 30 is Justin Gann in that green car there. We're going to go and try to figure out what... Oh, it's actually the 22. It's happening in front of them, the 22 and the 53. Let's go and take another look here. The 22 gets a little bit of a touch from the 29. That is Purdue, I believe. And that starts the whole thing. Let's take another look from the blimp area, a little bit further back. Randy Purdue moves up and touches that 22 car, and that goes spinning. The 52 can't avoid. And then I believe the 30 and the 24 basically had their own issues there. The 46, I believe, as they were trying to avoid the mayhem. Well, we can see that the 53 is still running. And on lap 31, folks, we see a few of the leaders coming down pit road, and that means that they were not so sure that they were going to make it on fuel, or maybe they're thinking, well, you know, we're this close to that stage, we might not even go green on that stage. That might be their that would have been a reason actually to stay out, because there you see Randy Purdue, a little bit damage on the back end. Let's go check on Jordan Berry on pit road. And we'll bring out the map and see if we can spot if there's a Lucky Dog driver. That should be somewhere further in the back, obviously. Findlay should be the one that would get the wave around. Williams coming out of the pits there. Anthony Keys, long pit stop for Anthony. And I do believe he kind of just gave up on that stage win there. Maybe hoping everybody else would think the same way, but they didn't. Gary Wright is now in the pits in the 19. Purdue is back in again. If I can catch him. There's Purdue back again. And 47 catching back up to the field there. John Findlay there on the apron. My guess would be that he would be the lucky dog, but I'm not sure if he is or not. It looks like he is getting ready to go down pit road. We have the 77 of Andrew Moore. He's coming off of pit road. Oh, he's not in great shape. All right, that gives us one more time for a breather, folks, with the superior templating yellow flag. Catch our breath here and see how this is all going to play out. The lights on the pace car are out, so we are going to go racing on lap, going into lap 35, and at the end of that lap, we will have a stage winner, and Dan McLaren and Roger Matthias are in very good positions to get that going. They did not pit, and the guys that have pitted, Avery Wilson is the first of them, and he's in 10th. So I don't believe that Avery will be of a factor in this stage win in that one lap. That would highly surprise me. That'll be between McLaren, Matthias, Figlin, Fallon, Ryan, and Schutting. Maybe Jason Branch, who stayed out as well.
Green flag, green
Dan
flag.
is patient, and Dan waits for that call on the radio, and then he goes like I don't know what, but he is shooting out there like a rocket. Pulls away from Roger Matthias. Jeff Figlin also comes alongside the number 5 and picks up second position. Well, let's keep an eye on Dan McLaren and see if he can follow up on this with a stage win. Oh my gosh, 3/10 of a second, almost 4/10 of a second. Oops, sorry about the track map. There he is. He's going to pick up that stage win on lap 35. Dan McLaren, in his first outing for the Blown Piston Racing League, picks up the stage win number 1 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. In hot pursuit, we have Jeff Figlin and Brian Fallon. Brian now in the 08 car coming down to take that inside if he can. The 98 is giving him the room, but he's not able to get alongside just yet. Well, now he comes on the main straightaway in the tri-oval with Roger Matthias there right on his tail. Brian Fallon picks up second position. And a little bit further back, we see Jason Branch on the move. We know that he can do it. Despite qualifying a little bit further back, he is currently in 5th position, and that means he is 16 spots up from the start. But the hardest charger at this point, I would say, is Brian Fallon in the 08. He is up 22 positions for the R&R Enterprises Hard Charger Award. Max Williams also doing really well in that respect. Ooh, we have another one, folks. This is a 72 and a 4. Let's go and take another look at what happened here. I believe the 72 kind of avoids the 63 there and then collects the 4 on his way up to the wall. Let's bring that back for you one more time. If you look at the 72, is gaining fairly rapidly on that 63. The 63 coming down. The 72 seems to be having to back off not to run into the 63, and as he does so, he washes up into the wall and collects the number 4. Very, very, very unfortunate for these guys. Let's see if we have more takers on pit row. Yeah, there you go. That was to be expected. Everybody that hasn't been there is going to go there because they are definitely going to be needing some tires and fuel. Fuel more than tires maybe, but obviously new tires is not going to hurt those guys either. We pretty much have everybody in. Dan McLaren, Roger Matthias. Let's see. Figlin, Schutte, Wise, Ryan. They're all on pit road. Guy Schneider. He's already leaving. There you see him coming off pit road, folks. Pretty much half the field now. And we'll see if we can figure out if we have a lucky dog. I do believe the 41 would be the lucky dog. Let's go and find out who that is. That is Kevin Nicoletta. I believe Kevin Nicoletta is getting the lucky dog here. Sponsored by SFI. Ron Schutte in 23rd position. And once again, folks, we do get an opportunity to take a breather here with ST Superior Templating LLC. Scott Wise, after his pit stop, down in 28th position. We still have some guys on pit road. Jeremy Brooks is there. Tommy Ryan. Anthony Handley. Ryan Nicoletta has come down to pit road. David Houghton. And Jason Kratke. Still getting service on their cars. The 54 obviously in fairly big trouble there. Now, obviously, damage like that is going to hurt your airflow quite badly on a track like this. It's not as bad as Talladega, but it's still going to hurt. It's still definitely going to hurt. You're going to need, you do need that airflow to be correct in races like this where we're going 180 miles an hour. Any distortion will definitely hurt. All right, we have another hard charger here, I believe, with 27 spots gained since the start of the race. That is Jonathan Munda there in the number 55 car, 27 spots up from the start. And it's time to line them back up side by side again on lap 42. We're going into lap 43 to go back to racing with Jacob Manning in the lead there. Max Williams in the 52 alongside him. Then it's David Evans and Jordan Berry. Good job for Jordan Berry on that fourth position in the 51 car. Ty Aiken and Justin Gahn on the third row. Avery Wilson, Pondoko on the fourth row. Keys and Ryan, Jeff Ryan on the fifth row. What a beautiful sight, folks. 43 cars starting a race on an oval like this. It's absolutely fantastic. And I definitely commend all these organizers, Scott Wise and Lauren Wise, and the people that help them, and the sponsors that make it all possible, like JM Transport sponsoring the series. It is absolutely phenomenal what we're doing here. Ooh, a little bit of bumping going on already there. Jacob Manning is jumping on the start here, pulling away from Max Williams. It's David Evans on the inside already in that number 1 car. I think some of the guys were taken by surprise a little bit. Jordan Berry is there on the high side in 5th position now, being passed by Ty Aiken in the 71 car. Jacob Manning is gone. He has got 4/10 of a second on David Evans, but these guys are going to help each other with that draft, and they're going to work their way back forward. You can see the back bumper of that number 1 car having a little bit of damage, I believe, and that could just have been from the nose to tail bumping that they were doing there at the restart before the green flag came out. Now, as long as that spoiler is in the correct position, it's not going to hurt him too bad. As you can see, he's still running very good speeds compared to the other ones. The 71 of Ty Aiken in 4th position, 51 of Jordan Berry there in 5th. Avery Wilson and Justin Gahn. Looked like Gahn had that faster pair because his car's back in good shape. And he's running in 7th position. We have Randy Perdue working his way forward in the field there, passing the 22, or the 022, I should say, of Corbin Simmons. All these cars not entirely without redesign, but that's not going to hurt them all that bad, I don't think. Dan McLaren back here in 17th position. Jeff Figlin, ooh. That is a weird situation here. The 60 and the 89 touch each other. Let's bring it back a little bit further. They touch each other. The 19 is actually starting it. And they end up on pit road. And then it takes a bit for the yellow flag to come out. That may have been manually initiated by the race admin, Lauren Wise. It wouldn't surprise me if it did, because it looked like that was a bit of an unintended mess there. Let's see if we can find that 60 car. Nope, he's gone. He's out. He left the race. He left the race. Let's see, folks, if we can find out quickly who the lucky dog is. The pits are probably going to open, and let's see if we can see people going in. I don't believe so. We have Scott Wise going in. Gary Snyder, Ryan Nicoletta, and Andrew Moore, they are coming in. Andrew Moore is over here. Oh, he's got some damage. We've seen that happen before. Gary Wright, that's the 19. It looks like he's going to be okay. Wise is already back on his way out. And so is Schneider, Ryan Nicoletta, Kevin Nicoletta, Anthony Handley, Andrew Moore, and Jeff Figlin. He is there waiting probably for that tow to expire, and it looks like we have a lucky dog there, and that looks to be like the 37. The 37 is Louis Berkowitz, and he is your SFI lucky dog. And once again, folks, a bit there. Figley is going back out, and we are getting a little bit of a breather once again with the Superior Templating LLC yellow flag. Catch your breath. Our hardest charger currently is Jonathan Munda there in the 55 car, up 24 positions. R&R Enterprises sponsors that award that is given every race. And let's see, we have 5 drivers that have left the race. That is Brian Rainville, Flo, Dolson, Hofstadter, and Stewart. They had so much damage that they figured it wasn't worth their while. You can't really blame him. It looks like Jacob Manning is clearly indicating here that he's going to go for that outside line. And that is his choice, folks. The leader of the pack gets to decide whether he wants to start on the outside or the inside, as long as he makes it clear before the 1 to go sign. And that is what we're looking at right now. The lights on the pace car are out, and that means we're going to go racing coming into lap 51 here of 130. Look at that picture, folks. Beautiful full field here at the JM Transport Blown Piston Racing League Clash Series on Sunday nights. And if you like this kind of stuff, we're doing the same thing with trucks on Friday nights. And next Friday, they will be here at Charlotte. The schedules are parallel. If we run somewhere on Sunday, then we do the same thing with the trucks on the following Friday. We start a little bit later, 1 hour later, than we do on the Sundays. Obviously, it's a work week and people have places to be and things to do. Somebody's got to make the money, right? Jacob has got a teammate right behind him there. That is Ty Aiken. There he goes. Manning is hard on the gas. Pulls away the number 1 in second position. That is David Evans. And Ty Aiken slots in behind him. It wouldn't surprise me if Ty is going to charge pretty hard to get himself in between Evans and Manning. Then we have Jordan Berry, Max Williams, Avery Wilson behind them. Jordan Berry there in 4th position in the 51. Looks like Max Williams is getting a little ambitious behind him there. And the 18 of Wilson. Oh, no, another caution, folks. That is the 880 once again involved in a crash. Not his. Oh, the 18 and the 19 together. 19 coming to his inside. That was a little unnecessary, I believe. It's kind of both going for the same real estate where they should know and be told by their spotters that there's somebody next to them. Yep, 880 just thinking he had enough room there to come down just a little bit where he didn't. Very unfortunate. Well, that brings him down pit road. Let's see if we have some more takers there. No, currently we don't. Let's bring up our map. He is the only one currently in pit road, and Dan McLaren is coming down. Whereas the rest of the field at lap 53, folks, is all staying out. Well, no, I'm not telling you the truth here. Jeremy Brooks is in, Andrew Moore, Figlin is in, and Ryan Nicoletta, Guy Schneider. Where is he? There he is. Gary Wright involved in this incident. He is back in. It doesn't look like his car was hurt that badly. Kratky is there, and Bellerby is in the pits and leaving already. Ooh, he still had his fast repair, it looked like. That car looks like he's in pretty good shape. So good for him. See if we have anybody eligible for that lucky dog. Well, folks, I'm not sure if we had anybody that was the lucky dog. The 98, I believe, came out of the pits. Yeah, that was Figland. I don't see anybody passing the field, so gives us a time to catch our breath once again, folks, with Superior Templating LLC yellow flag. Catch your breath, and we're going to get ready to go going into probably lap 56 or 7. Figley's been in the pits again. Yeah, we're going to go back to green flag racing next time around. This time Manning is opting for the inside line, and once again he has his buddy, his teammate, Ty Aiken, right behind him. Split Second Motorsports. I believe. And once again, folks, we are getting ready to go back to racing here at the JM Transferred Blown Piston Racing League Clash Series on Sunday nights. Co-sponsored by Wise Choice Contracting, Windows and Doors Replacement. We acknowledge our sponsors. We thank them for their support. We couldn't do all this without them.
Green, green, green.
There we go. Jacob Manning waits for the call on the radio and still gets a good jump on Evans. Now it is, in fact, Ty Aiken on that inside line that looks like he's going to put himself between Manning and Evans. Jordan Berry in 4th position. There you have Jordan in the 51 car with Avery Wilson to the outside. Jordan going to the inside of the 1, moving himself up into 3rd position. That is a good move. Good job for Jordan Berry, Canadian driver. Ooh, there we see Ty Aiken and Jacob Manning together. It looks like Ty Aiken's picking up the lead with his buddy right alongside here. And I do believe that Jacob scrubbed the wall there for just a second. They're side by side. They would be doing each other a bigger favor if they were nose to tail. Catch that draft together, guys. Aiken in front, Manning in second. Now slotting in behind his teammate. Maybe they can work together a little bit and put some distance on Jordan Berry. That would be the idea. Berry obviously still close enough to be to get that draft as well, and the number 1 of Evans is close enough behind there as well to catch that draft. Williams and Wilson are following side by side there. Justin Gunn still up there in the 7th position. Anthony Keys now in 8th. So we have a new driver in the front there that is counting some laps towards that DXP Frontman Award. That is the 71 of Ty Aiken. Jordan Berry in 3rd. He's got David Evans pretty close behind him, but they're not losing sight or touch with the 2 cars there, the 2 teammates, Aiken and Manning. David Evans now coming, well, he was trying to look on that inside there, but he thought the better of it. Lap number 60, 11 laps to finish the 2nd stage. Close racing going on here at the front. And there's really not that much between anybody. Avery Wilson's got about a couple of car lengths behind Max Williams. Then it's Gone, Keys, Brian Fallon, Pondo Cole, and he's got Randy Yoakum behind him in 11th. Randy is back up to the, I guess, almost close to the top 10 again. We saw that he was earlier dropped down quite a bit. Jason Branch in 14th behind Roger Matthias there. Jeff Ryan in the number 3 car. Casey Duncan holding off the 63 of Eric Kepf, teammate to the 2 leaders. Randy Perdue in the 29. Tommy Ryan, last week's winner. Ron Schutte in the number 28 car, and let's go see if we can find some other. Where is Dan McLaren? Dan is down in 23rd. He is right ahead of Scott Wise. Jacob Williams in the 47, and let's see, Louis Berkowitz in that 37. He had the lucky dog earlier. He's back on the lead lap. Guy Snyder is behind him. Jeremy Brooks in the 53. And let's see who else we've got here. Ryan Nicoletta in the 59. John Findlay. And it is Gary Wright that is currently the last driver on the lead lap in that 19 car. Let's go check back on the leaders here. It looks like Ty Aiken's pulling away from Jacob Manning. And even Manning, oh, another one. Let's go, oh, the 52 and the 18. Ooh, luckily a lot of drivers getting by there. Ooh, that was close. Let's go bring it back one more time. A little bit further back. It's the 52 of Max Williams that's getting into Avery Wilson there in the number 18 car. And spinning around, they go to the apron. Luckily, he doesn't bounce back off the inside wall, and pretty much everybody gets by there unscathed. He is back rolling. That's good news, obviously. And that bunches all the field back up again. And as we end the stage in about 6 laps, we're going to maybe see some people take that same chance on pit stops, although in this case, just like in the first stage, I would probably opt for track position. But no, Aiken and Manning are coming in. Pretty much the entire first 6 cars are coming in. Pondo Co, Randy Yoakum, Jeff Ryan, Eric Randy Perdue, Tom Queering, Corbin Simmons. A lot of drivers on pit road here. Anthony Keys stayed out. He last pitted on lap 31, so if he doesn't need fuel, then he's going to be pushing it, and he'll be coming in shortly after. That is Ty Aiken back out of pit road. There he comes. I believe that his teammate beats him out there. There's the number 8. And there's your new leader, folks, Anthony Keys. And I do believe the 54 has been given the lucky dog. Let's go see if we can figure out who that is. That is Jason Kratke. Fairly sure that that's your SFI lucky dog there. Catching up to the back of the pack. Not exactly in tip-top shape anymore, but he's still going. And folks, with Anthony Keys in the lead, we get to take one more breather with the ST Superior Templating LLC yellow flag. There you have the number 17 of Casey Duncan, and he is currently our R&R Enterprises hard charger with 24 spots gained since the start of the race. Casey Duncan currently in 5th position. And once again, folks, we acknowledge our series sponsor, JM Transport. JM Transport, started by James Jimmy Miller and specialized in oversized and overdimensional loads. So if you have something that's very big, these are the guys you need to call, folks. Also co-sponsored is by Wise Choice Contracting, replacements, doors and windows, installation and replacement services in the St. Louis area. Also co-sponsor of the race that we really don't see that much in the picture is Wise Guy Graphics, owned by Scott Wise, one of the drivers in this series. Wise Guy Graphics is a very affordable way to get one of the prettiest cars in the field. If you can't be first, you can always be pretty, folks. And it looks like we're getting ready to go back to racing, going into lap 69, so we'll have a 2-lap shootout for that second stage that'll finish at the end of lap 70. Anthony Keys is our leader currently, and that means that Anthony is counting laps towards that DXP Frontman Award. Anthony is early on the gas. He is going and pulling away a little bit from Brian Fallon on the outside there in the 08. Roger Matthias is in third, slots in behind Fallon there. Then we have Jason Branch in the fourth position. Jason will be picking up some stage points probably. Then it's Casey Duncan, our Charger, in the number 6. Oh boy. That is a big mess here. The 92 involved. Let's go and find out what happened. Oh boy. We had a car on the apron that looked to me like it was the 40. The green car. Let me see if I can find him real quickly. That is 30. I'm sorry. I believe it was him. Let's go and bring that back for you, folks. Because here's what I believe has happened. Oh, it's the 95. I apologize to the 30 there. It's the 95. Let's, we need to figure out who that is. The 95. We've got so many cars on track, folks, I can't keep... That's Pondo Co. So what happens here to Pondo Co. is this. He is on the apron, and he's too fast to stay on the apron. He can't hold it down there, so he washes up to the banking and takes out the number 30. And then basically he gets away with it pretty good, and the number 30 starts the rest of the mass completely, obviously, without his own doing. And it is very, very unfortunate that stuff like that, it's always, a lot of the times it's others that get in trouble. There you have it one more time. The 30 just can't keep it straight, and you can't blame him. Then it starts to collect the 92, oh, the 27, both the Gulf cars there. Randy Perdue involved, the 3 involved. The 880 is on the brakes pretty early, it looks like. That's very unfortunate. Well, we'll see some folks on pit road, I'm sure. Jeff Ryan is there, Kepf is there, Ryan Nicoletta. Findlay is back on pit road. I'm not sure if he's moved a lot since the last time he was there. Berkowitz, he's back out. The car is not too bad. The back end's not great, but I'm sure he's going to try to make do with that. Well, let's see if we have a lucky dog. We see the leaders coming down pit road. There's Anthony Keys. And I believe we see Matthias on pit road, Schutte, Jeremy Brooks. Not all of them. And in this mayhem, folks, I'm afraid I missed who was leading at the end of lap 70 and who took that stage win. That's what happens during these incidents. I'm fairly sure it was Manning or Aiken, but I can't guarantee you that. I do apologize. Keep an eye on whether we have a lucky dog or not, but we're taking a breather here with Superior templating, yellow flags. Take a breather, folks. We've got an action-packed race. We're on lap 73 right now, so we're a little bit past halfway. The 63 and the 27 seem to be just coming off pit road. I don't believe they are lucky dogs. And it looks like we are already going back to green on this coming lap, folks. The lights on the pace car are out. Dan McLaren in the number 12 car is your leader. Jacob Manning on the outside, Jordan Berry behind him on the inside. Then it's Ty Aiken on the outside behind his teammate. David Evans in the number 1 and Avery Wilson in the 18 on the outside. And it looks like the 92 is still on pit road. That is Findlay. Going into lap 74, folks, of 130.
Green, green, green.
There we go. There is Dan McLaren on the gas. Pulls away just a couple of car lengths. Jordan Berry seems to be strong on that inside there. But Manning holds him off on the higher line. The 71, his teammate, is right behind him. Berry has Evans behind him. Dan McLaren is pulling away a little bit there. Oh my goodness, we have another one. That is Scott Wise and the 14. That is Anthony Keys and Scott Wise getting together there. Let's go and see what's going on. Ooh, it's actually Scott Wise brushing the wall and not being able to keep it up there. And unfortunately, he takes out the number 14 car in the process. Very, very unfortunate for Scott Wise. It looks like his car's not too badly damaged. But let's go and check that one more time, folks. You will see that the 31, the green car here, he washes up to the wall. And it looks like he just barely scuffs it, and he has trouble keeping it in a straight line. That is not easy, I will tell you from my own experience, folks. That is not easy. Unfortunately, the 14 is a victim of the situation. There once again, and it looks like we do. Oh, that's the 14 that's coming, moving there to come back around. That is Anthony Keys trying to catch up to the field. We have quite a few drivers on pit road. Wright, Jason Branch, Ron Schutte, Scott Wise. He might actually still have that fast repair, I don't know. Yep, there you have it. He is back in business. Not so much Jason Kratke and Berkowitz. He's back on pit road trying to get some of that back end pounded out probably. I believe it is the 30 that is getting the lucky dog. Let me see if I can see that. That is Justin Gahn. I do believe that he is our SFI lucky dog going around the track there. The number 30 of Justin Gahn. And again, folks, Superior Templating LLC yellow flag. Let's take a breather. This is Munda, the 55 driver, currently your hard charger with 24 spots in the positive. And your leader is Dan McLaren. And as you can tell, folks, iRacing even simulates the flies and the rubber pieces that fly onto the car and make it dirty. And what you hear right now is Dan McLaren pushing the clutch to coast as much as he can. That is a way to save fuel. You'll hear the engine rev just a notch to keep it going. And now he's just coasting with the clutch in. There you have it, just to save fuel. Dan has been on pit road last on lap 53, and that means that he is probably one of the first ones that's going to have to come in, because Manning and Berry and Aiken and Evans, they've all last pitted on lap 65. And it looks even on the restarts here, folks, they're a little over anxious sometimes, and they got to be careful not to bump each other here.
Green flag.
There we go. Dan McLaren on the gas. We are back racing going into lap 79, folks. McLaren pulls away a little bit there from Jacob Manning. Jordan Berry picks up third position in front of Ty Aiken and Avery Wilson. Oh, it's going wrong again. That is Pondo Cole getting in trouble with and a lot of guys can't avoid him. Another mess. Let's go and check out what happened here. The blue grayish car, he comes down and he touches the 8 of Randy Yoakum, and that sends a lot of people spinning, folks. Gonna bring that back for you one more time. This is the 95 and the 8, Randy Yoakum and Pondo Cole. Pondo Cole on the high side. It looks like Pondo is coming down just a notch. Gets a little touch from Yoakum and from the number 8, Randy Yoakum, yes, and collects a lot of drivers there in the process. Very, very, very unfortunate, folks. We have a lot of guys on pit road. Randy Perdue. Ooh, he still had a faster pair. Good news for him. Kepf. Well, that's not it. That's not Kepf. That's Kratky. Kepf is on pit road. No faster pair, it doesn't look like. Handley. Well, he looks to be in pretty good shape. Justin Gahn, I believe he's used that faster pair. I've seen him do that before. Randy Perdue. Well, it looks all right. Gary Wright. Yeah, Kepfin is in trouble. Guy Snyder. Munda. And I believe we found our lucky dog here. That is Bellerby. He is your SFI lucky dog. SFI, folks, is Schneider Lubricants. It's an oil company in Pennsylvania, and they serve their customers with all kinds of petroleum products, including motor oils, gear oils, hydraulic oils, and greases. Family owned and operated since 1959, and I believe Guy Schneider is part of that family. Your number 27 driver. Let's see if we can find our friend. There he is. Not quite without damage, but he's still going. And I believe he's got a teammate. And see if we can find him. No, can't find him quickly. All right, folks, we have a hard charger, and that is the number 46 here. R&R Enterprises sponsors that trophy, and Tom Queering is currently the man. He is 25 spots up from his start. And once again, Superior Templating LLC is going to give us the opportunity to take our breath, catch our breath, I should say. Going back racing, going into lap 84 here, folks, for the Kickin' Asphalt 195 here at Charlotte, North Carolina. JM Transport sponsors the Blown Piston Racing League Clash Series on Sunday nights. Co-sponsor is Wise Choice Contracting. Now, I'm a little surprised, folks, that Dan McLaren did not pit, because he is already 30 laps into his fuel stint. I'm kind of thinking he's guessing yellows breed yellows.
Green flag, green
There
flag.
we go. We're racing once again, folks. There we have it. Back together this time. Nobody jumping away. Dan McLaren holds on to that lead. It is close-knit racing right behind him there. There they come. And now it looks like Dan is pulling away a little bit. Jacob Manning right behind him. Ty Aiken in third position. The two teammates, Jordan Berry in fourth position, hanging on there with Evans and Wilson right behind him. Randy Yoakum in the number 8 car doesn't seem to have, well, he's got some damage, but it doesn't seem to hurt him all that much. Max Williams in the 52 car there on the inside. Jacob Williams in the 47 on the higher side. There's Andrew Moore, the number 77 teammate of the Gulf team there, the Guy Schneider's team. Corbin Simmons in the 22 car on the higher side, struggling a little bit, it looks like. Car's damaged. Jeremy Brooks in the 53. Jason Branch in the 22 car, currently in 22nd, and Randy Perdue in the 29 at the tail end of this pack here. Ooh, Jason Branch has a few connection issues as well. Manning, meanwhile, has taken over the lead. We can try to get that for you. Nope, I can't get it. But it is Jacob Manning back in the front, and he's led quite a few laps already, and he is adding them up for that DXP Frontman Award. Just keep adding them on to him. His teammate in the 71, Ty Aiken, right behind him. Jordan Berry still in third, fighting off Wilson and McLaren. McLaren's dropped back a little bit. I'm sure the tires are playing a part of that. Lap 89, and once again, folks, he has last pitted on lap 53. It's not going to be that much longer for him. We've had a lot of yellows, but he is stretching it. He is stretching it. Manning and Aiken, about a half a second, and it's Avery Wilson that takes over third position from Jordan Berry. Berry now in fourth. Dan McLaren hanging on to fifth. Let's ride along here with our Canadian friend, Jordan Berry. Ready for winter, it looks like. Oh, we have another one, folks. Number 19 is involved in that one. Let's see what happened. Oh, it's actually the 4 coming down and tapping him around. It looks like there's not that many others that are involved, and it looks like everybody behind there can evade the problem. Gary was running, or is running, I should say, in 33rd position because of this. He is, in fact, still on the lead lap. There you see how he is catching up to the pack. And I'm sure that this will be the moment that we will see this man, there you go, coming down pit road. And he needed it. That's Dan McLaren on pit road. Roger Matthias is on pit road. David Houghton. Scott Wise back on pit road. Scott is, I believe, still on the lead lap. Jeremy Brooks. Jason Branch. Corbin Simmons. Guy Schneider on pit road. Well, hey, it looks like he finally used that fast repair. That car looks pretty good. Anthony Handley. And Munda is still sitting there. I'm not so sure as whether he's been out since that last time. It's the 880. The 880, I'm sorry. That is our lucky dog. Our SFI lucky dog, the 880 of Don Bellerby once again. And you see him going around and catching back up to the rear end of the pack. Once again, folks, whoops. Once again, we have a bit of a breather here with Superior Templating LLC. with 23 positions in positive. It is Randy Perdue that is currently the R&R hard charger. And Randy is currently running in 13th position, 23 spots up from his start. We have Kratky going back down pit road, and I'm sure he's just taking every opportunity he can to get more of that damage fixed. And you will always see him go back out before they put another lap on him. He's actually on his way back out. We have Jeff Ryan in the pits. Berkowitz probably doing the same thing there. He's one lap down. And again, Munda, I don't believe we've seen him drive for a few laps. He is 12 laps down. Yeah, he's been sitting there. We have... oh! What is this? Is there a hardware issue with the 62 there? His steering wheel suddenly stopped working. That is possible. We've seen that happen to people. The 19 coming alongside, well, I don't know, but it kind of looks like he's steering that way. That was the 18 of Keys. And now the 62 is just sitting there. Well, he's back on his way. So if it was an issue, it wasn't a big one. And he passes the field, gets back to his position, and then it looks like he's actually ahead of the pace car now, so he's going to have to fall off there. That was a little weird situation. I believe it was the 18 of Wilson that he ran into there. I'm not sure. No idea what happened there and why, so I'm going to leave that to the administrators to deal with. I'm not going to make any assumptions from my angle here because I have no idea. It could have been a hardware issue. It could have been something going wrong at home. Steering wheel, the cat jumping in your lap. Stuff happens, folks. The pace car is in. We're getting ready to go back to racing. Jacob Manning is still your leader, folks.
Green flag. Green
there
flag.
we go. Avery Wilson on the outside, being a little bit surprised maybe. Jordan Berry on the inside, going for second place. Manning there in the lead with Jordan Berry in second, Avery Wilson in third, David Evans in fourth, and Randy Yoakum charging hard there. Look at that. Oh, that almost went bad. The 8 washing up a little bit there. Look at that field, folks. Jordan Berry trying hard to catch up with Jacob Manning there. Actually charging hard for the lead. There he goes. And once again, we've had a bunch of yellows, and that's probably saving them an enormous amount of fuel. We are on lap 97. Jordan pitted last on lap 65. We've just come off a yellow. It kind of surprises me why they didn't go in, because I don't believe they're going to make it to the end.
The yellow flag is out.
Well, and that's probably why, because we have a lot of yellows, and people are probably trying to There we have it, the number 4 involved and the number 880 involved. Let's go and find out what goes on. There's the number 4. It's actually the number 4 and the number 22 of Jason Branch that got together there. The 880 is just a victim. Let's see if I saw that correctly as far as the 22 is concerned. No, I did not. That was not the 22. It was a yellow car further back. It was actually the number 3, folks, Jeff Ryan, that got together with the 4 there. Yeah, kind of the same thing, very close racing, both going for the same real estate, and that was all she wrote. All right, let's go bring you back live up to speed here. We have Anthony Keys going down pit road. We have Pondo Co, Matthias, Casey Duncan, Jacob Williams, whole bunch of drivers, Kratky, Wright, Bellerby, all down pit road. And what really surprises me is that these guys up front are still not going in. We have last seen these guys on pit road on lap 65. We are now at lap 99 going into 100. So that is 35 laps. And yes, we've had a lot of yellows, but those tanks are not near full. They're probably not even near half full. So I'm very, very surprised by this. What could be going on, and that's why I don't understand this. If they would pit now, they would make it to the end. So why not go in? Let me see. The number's 37. That would be your lucky dog there. Where is he? I can't find him. There he is. That looked to me like that was the lucky dog, folks. The number 37 of Louis Berkowitz, your SFI lucky dog. And once again, we take a little breather. Jacob Manning has actually gone down pit road, I believe. Yeah. Nope, sorry, that was Jacob Williams. Wrong Jacob. Where is Manning? He did go to pit road. I didn't see that bad. He went to pit road on lap 99. And that tells me, folks, Jacob is done with pitting. He can make it to the end, especially given the fact that we are doing quite a few laps under yellow here. And it just amazes me that people up front, they're already 35 laps in on their stint. They can make it to the end if they pit now. Why not do it? I don't know. I don't understand it. If we get a chance, we'll ask them. The lights on the pace car have been turned off. We are going to be going racing going into lap 102. That means we have 29 laps to go. Barry, Wilson, Yoakum, and Evans. Fallen, Ryan, Moore, Williams, McLaren, Well, McLaren might be close on fuel, but all those guys I just mentioned, that is the top 7 drivers, they're not going to make it on fuel. I would be extremely surprised if they would have saved that much. I don't think that's possible, but never say never. Obviously, I've been wrong before, but I'm just surprised that they didn't. Everybody, Dan McLaren pitted last on lap 91. Given the fact that we have a lot of yellows, he might actually make it on 40 laps, or 40 laps. And most of the people on down from the 12th position are probably done with fuel. They can make it. So I just don't understand it. Pace car's in. We're going to go racing, folks. Jordan Berry hits the gas. He gets a good jump on Avery Wilson and Randy Yoakum. There you have him, second and third. Then it's Brian Fallon and Evans. On the high side there, the 6 of Tommy Ryan. Tommy Ryan, last week's winner in Talladega. He is back up front here. And Jordan Berry putting in his first laps to count for the DXP Frontman Award. Looks like he had a slight issue with the connection. Wilson is about 0.6 of a second behind there in second position, with Randy Yoakum in the orange car on the high side, and the 08 of Brian Fallon coming to the inside, charging hard, 3 wide. It looks like they are thinking the better of it. The 8 of Yoakum is dropping back there just a notch. Now they're kind of slotting in together again. Dan McLaren into 12 is right there with him. Andrew Moore in the 77 looks like he's got a fully repaired race car, and he's looking pretty strong. And Andrew pitted last on lap 70. Scott Wise pitted last on lap 91, so he is in the same position as Dan McLaren, and he might actually make it to the end of the race. We've had a lot of yellows, folks, so they are saving fuel. That fuel window of 36 is based on green flag racing. It's going to be close, though. I can't imagine it not getting close, and I can't imagine people in front of him, like Barry, he's not going to make it. We're going to have to keep an eye on Jordan Berry, and I'm sure he's already saying some Canadian prayers for a yellow. He's going to need one. He's pulling away by 0.6 of a second, but again, folks, it doesn't mean much. Brian Fallon now in second place. Dan McLaren with him there in third. Dan McLaren definitely doing a very, very nice job. On the inside of the 08 now. And we rode along with Dan there, saving fuel under yellow by coasting, by pushing that clutch and basically just shutting off the engine. So he's been working really hard on saving fuel during yellow, and that might be what gives him confidence right now. Last pitted on lap 91, and he's quicker than Jordan Berry.
Caution, yellow flag.
Ooh, there is another one. It's the 59 of Nicoletta. Ryan Nicoletta being turned around there. Let's see, it looked like that was the 17 of Duncan, Casey Duncan. Ooh, Duncan gets on the apron being shuffled away. Then Nicoletta runs into the orange car there and can't avoid touching Duncan. Somebody's on his head. Well, Nicoletta's still rolling. Oh, that is Jason Branch that got into that as well. He doesn't look too bad. Let's see if we can find some takers on pit road. Munda is still sitting on pit road. And now I'm going to be interested whether these guys are coming down pit road. And it looks like it. Yep, there he goes. Jordan Berry. Dan McLaren is even coming in, so he was even thinking he couldn't make it. But Scott Wise is staying out. So McLaren, Fallon, Evans, Wilson, they're all coming in. Everybody in that top spot is going in except for Scott Wise. Let me see here. Looks like my scoring is giving up on me. Okay, it's back. Scott Wise is staying out. Now, once again, folks, we have a lucky dog there. That is the 98. Let's see if I can find him real quick. That is Jeff Figlin. I apologize, folks. My scoring is giving me a little bit of an issue here. But it looks like Jeff Figlin was waved around. He is the lucky dog. He looks like his car is in fairly good shape there. He is currently running in 34th position, and he's catching up to the back end of the pack here. All right, so what I was talking about is Scott Wise. Scott Wise is leading the race. He last pitted on lap 91, and he might be taking a bit of a gamble here, thinking, well, we might have some more. Randy Perdue's actually thinking the better of it. He's going in to get some fuel, but Scott is staying out, and he might be thinking, you know what, yellows have been breeding yellows. We've had a lot of them. We've been saving a lot of fuel already. He might just make it on fuel. If 36 is the number on the high end for Green Flag Racing, then he might be making it, because he has, if he makes it to the end, he will have 40 laps on that fuel tank. So I'm thinking he's taking a chance here. He's hoping that there might be some more yellows, and he's hoping for a good finish, taking a gamble on the fuel. Anthony Keys is behind him. He pitted last on lap 98, so he stayed out as well. Casey Duncan, Guy Schneider pitted last on lap 91, just like Scott Wise. And folks, Guy Schneider is your current hard charger with 35 laps up from the start. The R&R Enterprises Hard Charger Award. Guy Schneider currently in a good position for that one. Well, we get to catch our breath once more. Superior Templating LLC sponsoring the yellow flags. Let's check on Jordan Berry. Jordan Berry has now pitted and is in 12th position. While he might get some advantage from... Ooh, is he going back in? Nope. It looked like the car in front of him wanted to. Jordan is not in a bad position, though. 12th position is not bad. If it stays green and the guys up front run into fuel issues, then obviously he's in a strong position, and he's not that far behind. Scott Wise is opting for the outside line here. We're going to go into lap 113, folks, of 130. It's been a long race already. And as you can see, we have a time limit of no less than 2 hours and 30 minutes. So we're definitely going to finish this thing under racing conditions. It also looks to me like, although Scott's been in several issues and had some damage, he saved that fast repair and it looks like he's had it done now, and now is when it counts. There he goes. He's on the gas.
Green flag, green flag.
Anthony Keyes coming with him fairly good there. Scott Wise, your new leader, and scoring some laps towards the DXP, the Frontman Award. And it's Anthony Keyes that moves alongside and passes Scott Wise for the lead there. Guy Schneider in third, coming on strong as well. Casey Duncan. Oh. And that's what Scott was hoping for, probably. It's Yoakum and the 880 of Bellerby. Let's go see if we can find out what's going on. I do believe it's the 880 is being pretty slow there and bounces off the wall. Once again, having trouble keeping it in a straight line, and the 8 is being collected there. That is Yoakum that cannot help any of that. And the 880 obviously working with a difficult handling car. He is running, and we'll go and check on Yoakum there. He is running still as well. Doesn't look too bad. Keyes up there at the front with Scott Wise now in second place, and Guy Schneider up there in the number 27 Golf car. And it looks like Scott Wise has changed his mind. He is going in. He has probably found out that it's not going to work. Well, next up would be Guy Schneider. He is pulling the same stunt here. Also last pitted on lap 91, and so far he is thinking he can still make it. And it looks like we have a lucky dog, and that is Corbin Simmons, folks. Corbin Simmons is your SFI lucky dog. Oops. If we can hang on to him. All right. Let's go and see where Scott Wise has cycled back in. Scott is now in 28th or 29th position. Well, it was worth a try, and I guess he thought the better of it. And my attention will be on Guy Schneider now. We are on lap 117, folks. That means we have 15 laps to go. 14 laps to go. I'm sorry. 14 laps to go. And a lot of these have been yellow. So I'm Guy Schneider is obviously in doubt. But he might make it. So, as far as the other ones are concerned, Anthony Keyes, he pitted last on lap 98. So my guess is that Anthony is pretty confident that he's going to make it, and the same is true for Casey Duncan in the 17 car there. Pitted last on lap 98, and then Jacob Manning on lap 99, Jacob Williams on lap 98. There is Manning and Williams, and then behind them it's Pondo Cole, also lap 98. And the first of the guys that pitted on 109 is David Evans. Andrew Moore also lap 109. Jordan Berry, Dan McLaren, all those guys here on lap 109. The hardest charger is, at this point, this man here. The number 27 of Guy Schneider, 37 laps up. Positions, I'm sorry. This is going to be a fuel race for these guys here. How hard can Guy Schneider charge? That is the question. And will he make it? Guy Schneider's teammate, the 77 of Andrew Moore, is not that far behind. He actually pitted last on lap 109. So both those drivers are doing a pretty good job there. They're teammates. There we go. Anthony Keys hits the gas. The JM Transport Blown Piston Racing League Clash Series on Sunday night is back underway going into lap 119. We have 12 laps to make it to the finish. Casey Duncan picks up second position there, right behind him. Guy Schneider is in third, and Jacob Manning's charging hard there in fourth position. He is obviously, he pitted last on lap 99. David Evans in fifth. There we see Guy Schneider going a little bit wide and Manning coming to his inside. Don't forget, folks, we're not just talking about fuel, but we're also talking about tires starting to give up on these guys. Guy Schneider has had a lot of laps on those tires. And yes, some of them, many of them were under yellow, but still, those heat cycles, you can't endlessly warm them up and cool them down, obviously. So these tires are probably not the greatest anymore, and that's why we see Guy Schneider dropping back a little bit here. Anthony Keys is in front by about 0.3 of a second, and Casey Duncan is on his tail there, in pursuit. Manning is coming closer already, is he? Yeah, he's got the number 1 of David Evans to worry about there in his mirrors. That's what that Camaro looks like from up close.
Caution, yellow flag.
We have another caution, folks. It looks like the 30 scruffs the wall there. Well, I'm not sure if that was really it. It wasn't. It was the 52 being turned around by what I believe to be The number 30 car, I believe that was. Let's see if we can pick that back up. It was actually the 41. And there we have him once again lined up, and the 42 there, that is Max Williams coming down pit road. The 98 looks to be our lucky dog there. If I can find him, there he is. That is Jeff Figlin. Jeff is our lucky dog. And it looks like our hard charger is still our friend Guy Schneider there in the 27 car, currently running in the 5th position. Superior Templating sponsoring our yellow flag. We're taking a short breather here, folks. Lap 125 of 130. We are getting there. I'm fairly sure that these guys up front that pitted last on lap 98 are going to make it. They would know by now if they couldn't. And I think Keys and Duncan and Manning, Evans, Schneider, all in a good position. Jordan Berry has gained quite a bit in that short green stint that we had since his last pit stop. He has worked his way back up to the 7th position there. Dan McLaren in 10th. And it looks like Anthony is opting for that outside again as well. We are definitely going to see things heat up here a little bit because we're going to go green into lap 127. And that means that we have 4 laps to settle this thing. And I'm sure everybody is getting a little tired there. I mean, we've been running at this for a little over 2 hours now. So I'm sure that focus might be an issue for some of these guys. Racing for 2 hours here is not an easy thing to do. Duncan seems to be falling back there already a little bit. There we go. They work together. I think they were on the radio telling each other when to go. Anthony Keys and Casey Duncan. David Evans in third position, folks. Jacob Manning in fourth. Andrew Moore now in fifth. He has passed his teammate there. Guy Schneider now dropping to seventh position. Brian Fallon in between there. Anthony Keys is your leader. Can he hold on for 4 laps? He's pulling away a little bit there. Casey Duncan.
Caution, yellow
Oh
flag.
boy. It is the 41 and the 46 getting together here. Let's see if we can figure out what happened there. That is Tom Queering in the 46. There they're coming down the backstretch. It looks like the 41 gets a little tap from the 3. And then the 46 is basically just a victim there once again. Well, that'll bring us to a green-white checkered, folks. 46 catching up with the pack here. Max Williams down pit road. We see Kevin Nicoletta, Jordan Berry. Did he sustain some damage? Yes, it looks like it. Looks like his plan didn't work out the way he had hoped. Ryan Nicoletta has been sitting on pit road for a while. Kepf is on pit road in the 63 there. He looks pretty good. Dan McLaren on pit road. Well, that means Dan gives up quite a bit there. Anthony Keys, your leader. Hardest charger is, oops, we have a lucky dog to catch there. Or do we? Yep, the 880. That is Don Bellerby. He is our lucky dog. Very likely our last one today. And I was trying to let you know that it is still Guy Schneider that is the hard charger currently. And obviously, Mr. Anthony Keys has been adding some laps to his DXP ambitions for the Frontman Award. We are going to do a green-white checkered, folks. We are still under yellow. Very likely our last breather we can take with Superior Templating LLC. Guy Schneider is currently 7th. So his tires are probably not giving him what he needed. but he still did not pit, so he looks like he's going to make it. Tommy Ryan's in 9th. Let's go and find, I was curious about Jason Branch here, Randy Perdue, Scott Wise in 17th. Looks like we're getting ready. Anthony opting for that higher side again. Jacob Manning will be behind him. Casey Duncan will be on the inside with David Evans behind him. Andrew Moore is on that third row there on the inside with Avery Wilson on the outside, and then Guy Schneider, Jeremy Brooks. Ooh, we have the 98 stepping out of line there for a moment. All right, pace car's in. There we go. Anthony Keys hits the gas. It's Casey Duncan on the inside there. We have Manning and Evans. Evans charging for third there. There he comes. Looked a little bit loose, but he's hanging on to it. Anthony Keys is on in the front there. Manning and Evans together. Awfully close to that line there, the number 1 car. That looks to be the hardest battle at this point because Keys is well out in front. The white flag is out, folks. Anthony Keys has the lead, and he's got a good lead on Casey Duncan there. Evans and Manning charging behind. And it's also Fallon that's coming. Oh, no. Duncan being thrown around there by the number 1. That means that David Evans is going to pick up second position. Brian Fallon is going to pick up third. And Jacob Manning is in fourth. That was a really, really tough call there for the number 17 car. Casey Duncan, let's see if we can bring that back for you really quickly here. Oh, look at that car. There you see the moment. The number 1 charging to the inside, and the 17 obviously trying to defend. Oh. Plenty of other cars are going to get involved in this. Well, wow. Most of them have managed to miss it. That is, that's unbelievable. All right, let's go see and find the man that's going to do the donuts here. That is Anthony Keys. Well, maybe no donuts. There you have your top 3. Brian Fallon's car is already somewhere on pit road. Let me see if my computer is going to cooperate with these. Let's see if we can find these guys. No, I can't find anybody. They are going to have to come to me if they want to talk to me. Anthony, this is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me?
Was that to me?
Yes, sir. This is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I have a copy.
All right, Anthony, that was an eventful race to say the least, sir. How did this all work out for you?
Well, I can't exactly tell you. I sort of just found myself at the front at the end there because I made a good tire call, and I just held on to the track position with a little help from KC, who's my teammate.
Now, I was told that the fuel window on under green would be anywhere from 33 to 36. You last pitted on lap 98, so you look to be well within that fuel window. But I'm fairly sure you guys were all saving fuel like crazy with all these yellows here.
Oh, absolutely, especially because there might be green-white checkers at the end, and you never know what can happen. So you're always saving fuel under caution.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I remember correctly, you started in the top five there, and you were basically running in that top 10 all race long, if I remember correctly, Anthony.
Yeah, I started in third and got the lead early, and then I hit the wall and I lost a lot of track position, and it ended up Scott I somehow won stage two. Oh yeah, I won stage two because that was on tire strategy as well. And then I caught a lucky caution and I went back in the pack because obviously I had to take tires. And I went for a wild ride. I got flipped up and I was in the air for a good 5 seconds. And yeah. Thank God for fast repairs, or else I would not be here right now.
Yeah, I mean that is probably true for a lot of guys here tonight, and I think also if you can save your fast repair for the moments when you really need it, and kind of take the little damage for what it is when you have it early in the race, that's kind of that can be a lifesaver, right?
Yeah, it definitely adds another element of strategy to the race, and I'm thanking the Lord that I saved mine because I had like a minute of damage after I hit the wall, and I decided to save it. So that was a lifesaver for me.
Absolutely. Well, Anthony, good job, my friend. Like I said, we've seen so many incidents. I can't really remember which one was which. I do remember you were involved in something, but I can't remember exactly what happened. I'm glad it worked out for you. I'm glad you saved your fast repair. You did a great job. The second one in the JM Blown Piston Racing Series on Sunday nights is yours, my friend, on Charlotte. Next is Gateway, which is quite a shorter track and a bit of an odd-shaped paperclip. What's your anticipation on that?
Well, hopefully not more of the same, but with short tracks, in general, it can be a crapshoot. So we'll see how it goes. I heard we're getting up a lot of practice races this week, so hopefully we can straighten things out.
All right, sounds good, Anthony. Any love yous and thank yous you want to throw out there before I let you go, my friend?
Yeah, huge thank you to Casey Duncan. We worked great on the restarts there, especially at the end of the race. Unfortunately, he got caught up in a wreck on the backstretch, and he ended up just back there on like 29th. But he definitely had a top 5 car there and should have gotten second place. So shout out to him and the rest of my teammates at Forex Racing.
All right, thank you very much, Anthony.
All right, thank you, man.
David, this is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, man. Second position for you. It looked like you got a little bit of a lucky break there at the end. I'm not sure what happened between you and the 17 of Casey Duncan there. Obviously, I mean, it's close racing, and I know stuff happens, my friend. How did it look from your perspective?
I feel like I just rolled the center of 3 and 4 really good, and 17 checked up a little bit, and I just got into the back of him. Nothing intentional, just hard racing there at the end.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not trying to suggest that it was anything intentional. I understand how it works, my friend, especially in a long race like this. I'm sure everybody gets a little tired at the end too, and you want to finish it. You want to do well. You're racing for position. Stuff happens. David, to be honest with you, so much has happened in this race. I would not be able to tell you which incidents you were in and were not in. If I remember correctly, you were in the top 10 to 15 pretty much the entire race there, running fairly strong all the time. What did I miss, my friend?
I ended up pretty clean the entire time. Just got a couple incidents here and there. Had to use my quick repair pretty early, which I didn't really want to use it that early, but yeah, just tried to stay out of trouble there.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, it worked out for you, man, here at the end. A strong charge towards the finish. It looked there for a while that we could do it in 4 laps, but then again, something happened, and we had to do it with a green-white checkered. Congratulations once again on a second place. Any love yous and thank yous you want to throw out there, sir?
I guess I'll just thank mom, dad, and my grandparents
All right, sounds good. I hope they're watching, and I hope they had fun looking at all this stuff unfolding here.
All right, thank you.
You betcha. Brian, this is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Brian, third place for you with maybe a little bit of luck there at the end. I believe you were actually running fourth or fifth at the restart there, and then obviously the 17 got in a little bit of trouble there at the end. And it brought you back up to third position. If I remember correctly, that 08 was in the top 5 to top 10 pretty much the entire race.
Yeah, it was pretty good. We just stayed out a couple times for the stage points, so I think we restarted about 20th or so on that last little sprint there, and just trying to play the points deal and trying to get a good finish out of it. It's kind of tough to do, but guess we managed the best we could.
Now, obviously, I mean, it surely got your attention that I mean we had a lot of yellows on this race and a lot of stuff happening. What is your idea of what the problem is? Is it eagerness for too many people too eager, or what is it?
I think a lot of it's blocking. I mean, it was some blocking going on lap 6. I mean, people just want to run you down to the infield and all that. It's just no patience.
Yeah, that's kind of another way of saying the same thing, in it. All right, Brian. Well, once again, my friend, congratulations on a very strong finish here. Third place in Charlotte is a good way to start the season, I would say. Next week is Gateway. What's your idea on that?
Hopefully we can just qualify better. I kind of struggled tonight on a quick 2-lap run, but I felt like on the green flag runs, we was just as good as anybody. Um, the whole team is good. Myself, Tommy, and Randy and Jeff, all of us had good runs. Just wish tonight we'd have pitted one caution sooner. We kind of talked ourselves out of it, but just not enough green flag laps. I really felt like we could have probably won it if we'd have had a little 15 or so lap sprint, but hopefully next week we can just qualify good and stay up front.
All right, sounds like a plan, Brian. Any love yous and thank yous you want to throw out there before I let you go, sir?
Just a team, like I said, Tommy and Randy and Jeff and Tommy's kind of he's the real talent in the team. He just kind of keeps us all in line. So just thanks to all of them guys. We just come in here and have fun.
There you go. All right. Thank you very much, Brian. Good luck to you next week at Gateway, and hopefully your plan works out, and maybe you guys can figure something out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You betcha. All right, folks. That brings us to the finish. I also there we go. We're gonna get some donuts after all. I also want to mention for you guys that Guy Schneider is the one that brings the R&R Hard Charger Award home. He has gained 33 positions since the start of the race. As said, with having pitted last on lap 91, he actually made it to the finish in 6th position. Anthony Keys is your winner, folks. We heard from him. David Evans in second, Brian Fallon in third. Obviously, a little bit unlucky finish there for the number 17 of KC Duncan, who helped his buddy Anthony Keys out there with the restarts. Anthony, a Canadian flag up top there of a whole bunch of American flags, so I'm sure they're happy to bring that home to the northern neighbors there. Jacob Manning finishes in the 4th position. He ran strong all race long, always at the top there. We saw that little bit of an incident there, running into the 18 there. I'm guessing it was something with the hardware there that caused him to steer that suddenly. I have no idea what it was, but it was a little odd. Avery Wilson brings it home in 5th position. Avery also up front there pretty much the entire race. As said, Guy Schneider, your Hard Charger, brings it home in 6th. Then it's Jeremy Brooks. Jeremy also a pretty strong run for him in that number 53 car. Roger Matthias in the 5, also been up there quite a bit. Not quite fighting for the lead all that much, but he was in that top 10 a good bit, I believe. Andrew Moore, the number 77 teammate, I believe, to Guy Schneider. He brings home that number 77 Golf car in ninth position. Looked fairly strong at the end, especially. Randy Perdue, also one of the guys that did good on the hard charging award. He gained 26 positions since the start of the race and finishes in 10th there. Tommy Ryan, also another strong finish for last week's winner. Jeff Ryan in 12th position, Pondo Co 13th, Jason Branch brings it home in 14th position. Then it's Jeff Figlin in the 15th position, Corbin Simmons, Jason Kratke, and Dan McLaren in the 18th position there after a strong run. And yeah, it looked like he could make it on fuel, but he decided to go into the pits after all. And let's see, we have Jordan Berry there in 19th position, Justin Gunn in 20th. Then it's Gary Wright. Scott Weiss brings it home in 22nd. Had a good chance there also, I believe, at the end. And probably worried about his fuel there. Jacob Williams, Kevin Nicoletta, Louis Berkowitz, Max Williams, Randy Yoakum, Anthony Handley. The list goes further down then with Casey Duncan, last car on the lead lap with that unlucky finish there. Then it's Eric Kepf, Tom Quering, Don Dellerby, David Houghton, Ryan Nicoletta, Ron Schutte, Ty Aiken. Not sure what happened to Ty there. Finishing in 36th, 41 laps down. And then Jonathan Munda, he had some strong points there, but he didn't finish ultimately. John Findlay in trouble quite a bit. Brian Rainville, Barrett Flo, Don Dolson, Frederick Hofstetter, and Donald Stewart, all guys that had too much trouble to make it work here at Charlotte. That's just the way it is, folks. We did see quite a few yellows here. It was a tough race. It's close racing. 43 cars on the start. I've said this before. I totally understand. You're trying to do your best. You're trying to improve your positions, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. And you touch somebody, and that can take some others out as well. We've seen quite a few good examples of that here tonight. All in all, it was still, I think, a pretty exciting race. As said, we are going to the Gateway track next week, the Gateway in St. Louis, a paperclip style track with different radius corners or turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Long straightaways. It's a short track. I believe it's just a mile, so we're going to see some pack racing there as well. We hope to see you back there again on behalf of all our sponsors, JM Transportation, Wise Choice Contracting, all our secondary sponsors, Wise Guy Graphics, SFI, R&R, DXP, and Cop Blue for the Pole Award. We thank you very much for your attention. We hope to see you next time. This is Short Shift Broadcasting. My name is Mark. Folks, be kind to one another and stay healthy.